Your hospital is starting on a journey to excellence or a journey to greatness. And what that means is that you're embarking on a culture change. And what culture change, do you mind if I set this here, Joanne?
No.
That could freak you out. I'm not in your bubble. Okay. Is what culture change is it's different than changing the exterior of your building. A lot of times employees will tell us, well, if we only had more ER beds, if we only had a bigger CAT scanner, if we only had more ORs, if we only had a nicer, newer place to put our patients, then, you know, the patients will come. Build it and they will come. And that's not necessarily true. What your culture is the invisible infrastructure that actually holds up the building. It's different than the bricks and the mortar on the outside of the building. It's the invisible infrastructure that fills up the building, and that is you. That culture is you. And 66% of healthcare decisions are made by word of mouth, and that's probably even higher. That's what research tells us, but it's probably even higher in a small town, isn't it? Because people vote with their feet, and you want them to vote for you. You want them to come to a hospital because there are family and friends here taking care of family and friends that are going to come here. And you want to create a workplace where people thrive and care for each other the same way that they care for their community. And when people come to you, they say, please don't transfer me. I can't think of going anywhere else because I know that you guys care about me. And there's a big, huge difference between having that sort of atmosphere in your hospital than one that might get great patient satisfaction or whatever because they got bright, shiny new toys, but that doesn't last long. That's not lasting. Another key thing that you can take out of this room and start doing right away is called managing up. And what managing up is it's portraying everyone around you that you work with in a positive light, especially when you're speaking to each other, you're speaking to another department, you're speaking to your patients, their families, your community. And what I mean by that is anytime there's a handoff, even if it's on the phone, because some of you never interact with patients unless it's on the phone, right? So even if it's on the phone, you're going to speak positively about that next step in the patient's care. So where am I admitting people? Registration. Geez, they all came at 2 o'clock. Oh, you see? Don't be shy, honey. Oh, are you? Okay. All right. All right. Well, raise your hands. Come on, people. All right. Be proud of where you work. So like you have the opportunity when you're registering a patient and they say, my doctor is Dr. Pryor. You say, oh, I love Dr. Pryor. She's my doctor. Even if, you know, you don't have to lie about it, but, you know, it's like, she does a great job, okay? And then, you know, you can manage up other departments. If Maria is sending a patient up to Med-Surg or OB or to the OR, she can say, our operating room is full of very talented nurses, and they're going to do a great job and take great care of you. What happens is people come to us for care on the worst day, their worst day, right? Nobody wants to come here. I don't understand it. I think it's a great place. But nobody wants to come here. And so their anxiety is here, even if they're just coming in with a sore throat, even if they're just coming in to get a lab draw, their anxiety, you know, there's the whole parking issue, and then I'm going to be late for work, and it's going to hurt, and they're going to poke me. It's up here. And how you can make that anxiety go down and their compliance with what you're trying to do with them go up is by managing up everyone around you. Because what you need to know is your community sees you as a group. They don't see Maria, the wonderful ER nurse. I love Maria. Maria's going to take great care of me. Well, Maria ain't working there 24/7, pal. 365 days a year. So they see all of you as a team. And if you manage each other up, if you speak well of each other in care segments, then what happens is that your community starts to realize, wow, those people got it going on over there. It's a team that likes each other, respects each other. Because if you don't like each other and don't speak well of each other, why would they come here? Why would they choose you if even you may not choose you? Why would they choose you? And they vote with their feet, and you want them to vote with their feet here. So let's picture a scenario of you arriving at work one day. okay? And let's say you're a young mother, a young parent, you're so excited to come to work and not have to watch Dora the Explorer for one day, and the night before you got to see your kid's soccer game and it was a beautiful spring night. You may have even walked to work. Let's make it really positive, okay? And you've got your favorite cup of coffee, and you walk into your department, and somebody who will label the department bucket sucker says to you, "Can you believe this weather?" And so this emotional bank account, or this emotional bucket that you have full of positivity because you did all the things that you like to do the night before, surrounded by a family who loved you, your positivity level just goes down a little bit, right? Somebody's sucking your bucket. And so you try to come back with, yeah, we can't control the weather, because that's the truth, right? And still the bucket sucker keeps on. Really? Really, we can't control the weather? Well, it doesn't mean we can't be upset about it, because now my asparagus isn't going to grow, and I'm not going to be able to harvest it till whenever. And and that means that the price of corn is going to right? And you're like, whoa. And that little cup of coffee doesn't mean anything to you anymore, and your emotional bucket just got sucked right dry, right? Sucked right dry. So what do? You can choose at that time to jump in, right? Jump in the bucket with the bucket sucker, and it's like, yeah, you're right. And my strawberries aren't going to go in. There's frost going to be on my strawberries, and then I'm not going to be able to make jam, and blah, 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 until everybody around you is going, it's the weather, people. What are we going to do? Seriously. But it makes sense at the time to jump in bed with the bucket sucker, doesn't it? It's just oh, okay, whatever. Let's just complain about everything that we can't control. Let's just do it. Or you can say, listen, you are giving me belly fat. And I got enough problems of my own, all right? I got enough problems of my own. I do not need you giving me belly fat. So it was hilarious. Sue and I were doing this very same talk in another hospital, and right where these two are sitting, there was obviously two women that had worked together for a very, very, very long time. And one was this teeny, teeny, tiny little girl, and one was my size. And when I was saying that, all of a sudden, the one that was my size turns to the little tiny girl, and she's like, "It's your fault! You've been sucking my bucket dry every day at work for 20 years, and you're the reason I'm fat, finally!" Whoa, jeez, we have this. So consider that. Another thing you have to consider are, actually two other things. Are you the bucket sucker in your department? Are you the bucket sucker? Do you have, does everybody tend to avoid you when you get to work in the morning? Does everybody tend to stand there just kind of slack-jawed while you're talking? Or did you just feel negative? Do you feel like everything around you is negative and there's just no way to make it better? You might be the bucket sucker. It's okay to ask people that you trust at work. I'm like, do I suck your bucket dry every day? Am I that one? Because I complain about the weather a lot, okay? So am I that person? The other thing is there's a difference between an acute bucket sucker or a chronic bucket sucker. The people that are just, terminally unhappy and have to complain about everything. But, if somebody killed a kitten on their way to work, it's okay to be a bucket sucker temporarily, all right? It's okay to come in and go, oh my God, I killed a kitten on the way to work, and then my car wouldn't start, and then my kid pooped all over the place, there are those days, right? There are those days, and you just can't help it. You have to be a bucket sucker. And you may make everyone fat around you, but it's temporary, and it'll go away the next day.